in. Let's get this thing fired up and start listening to it. Okay, so the thing with the Korg MS-20, you know, you've got your oscillator 1 and your VCO 2, and then you have a mixer here where you turn up the volume for each one. And so bring the volume up on both VCOs, and then you have your filters. Now that's one of the nice things about this, which we'll get into here in a bit. One of the best things about this synthesizer is the dual filters. It really provides a lot of flexibility. And it's very intuitive. I mean, you know, if you look at the numbers, it doesn't make sense. You'd assume that like 0 means, you know, it's not being affected at all. But it's actually intelligent because you think of it as like an EQ curve, right? And so 10 is fully open, meaning that you roll down from the high end down to the low end. That's what the low pass filter basically does. So 10 is fully open, basically. It's not affecting the signal at all. So it sounds like we've got some sound. And then, of course, we've got our two envelopes. So we need to increase the sustain to get some sound. And there we go. Listen to that. Looks like we've got a hold time on. We don't want that. Notice the hold time. We'll get to that here in a bit. I just wanted to take it one step at a time. This is a very well laid out synthesizer. If you just ignore this part for right now and just look at the controls here, I mean, you can't get any simpler. You've got two VCOs, as I said. You can select the different waveforms. So right now we've got a triangle wave. You've got your octave selector. I mean, just listen to that already. It's not bad. Sawtooth. Ooh, I just realized I need to plug in my trusty Korg oscilloscope. Give me 1 second, I'll do that. Looks to me like a sawtooth. Nice. All right. We've got our square wave, our pulse wave, I should say, with the pulse width. Goes to 0, which is always nice to have that as an option. And then we've got noise, which you can also access through the noise generator here. This is white noise. To get pink noise, you come out of the output here, but we'll get into that all later. Okay, so that is oscillator 1. Okay, so let's check out oscillator 2. Turn that up. Okay, that is a sawtooth. 16 feet. Okay, they have high note priority set from the factory. I believe the Behringers are coming with a firmware or utility that you download and put on your computer, where you can change the note priority. I prefer last note priority personally. It's just easier because then, you know, it's more flexible for me. Okay, so this is square pulse. Now the pulse wave on this VCO2, you don't have a dedicated knob for that. You can only have pulse width modulation on the VCO1. There's no other way to do the pulse width for oscillator 2. In fact, there's no way to actually automate pulse width modulation for VCO1. Even though there's a knob, you can do it manually, but you can't do it with an LFO, for example. You can only do it manually. There's a mod you can do where you can actually change that, but ring, which is basically like VCO2's square wave is always going to be modulated by VCO1's pulse wave. So it doesn't matter what I set this to. It's still going to be modulating it via the pulse wave. So there you go.